Digging deeper into what this Jacksonville man told City Council last week during a debate on expanding the Human Rights Ordinance, Roy Bay claimed publicly that he molested children decades ago and got away with it. He repeated his claim in an interview with News 4 Jax.
So you're admitting, though, for a time in the 70s and 80s, you molested young boys?
Yes, I did, because that's part of the way that I was. You know, I mean, I didn't know any better.
You attacked him?
Today, we took Roy Bay's statements to a local psychologist who is questioning his claims, which police continue to investigate by looking for potential victims.
After last Tuesday night's council meeting, Bay said nothing further publicly until last night when he spoke exclusively to Channel 4's Vic Michelucci. Vic joins us now with some expert insight into Bay's shocking statements. Vic.
Well, Roy Bay said he'd been a victim of sex abuse since he was a child, and in his teenage years, he became an offender. But he says people are upset that he's coming clean about what happened so long ago. Some don't even believe what he's saying, telling us he's just seeking attention to show his opposition to possible changes to the HRO. So you're admitting, though, for a time in the 70s and 80s, you molested young boys?
Yes, I did, because that's part of the way that I was. You know, I mean, I didn't know any better.
Roy Bay told me yesterday he sexually assaulted children in both Missouri and Florida. He says it's because he was assaulted by a man who adopted him, pushed into a lifestyle of abuse.
I did most of my life, especially assaulting kids.
He set off a firestorm last Tuesday night when he spoke about this at a Jacksonville City Council meeting regarding possible changes to the HRO that would include protections for the LGBT community. He says he's reformed now, but he spoke out as a warning. What you said offended a lot of people and sparked a nationwide controversy. Do you know that you could face consequences besides just losing your job? Because now the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office is investigating you.
Jacksonville Sheriff's Office has been investigating me. I have cooperated with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office fully.
After our interview aired, many people questioned his statements. Police tell us despite their investigation, so far no alleged victims have come forward.
It is not unusual for someone to wait this long to bring up something that's happened to them in the past, such as abuse or even being an abuser. However, the format and platform of doing such is unusual.
Dr. Justin Dorenzo is a forensic psychologist. He hasn't evaluated Bay, but analyzed the interview for us. He says it's hard to tell if he's being truthful or if Bay really was abused. That led to his actions.
It does increase the risk if you've been abused. I mean, it's a risk factor that you will be a perpetrator yourself. However, most people that have been abused do not offend.
Dorenzo says people can suppress bad memories, and they also can be reformed.
Based on his demeanor, it seems that he's come to terms with this, and you know, some people do find religion when things like this have happened to them and they've been abusers. And we know that about 75% of people that do receive treatment do not reoffend either.
Roy Bay made it clear to me he's a born-again Christian and he is not dangerous. He says he only admitted to his past crimes because he wanted to warn other people. Again, he is against changes to the HRO. He says the controversy has made him look like a monster. He's been in hiding and he has lost 2 of his jobs. He hopes people can forgive him. Mary?
Vic, what have you been able to find out about the man who Bay claims abused him when he was young?
Well, he told me that man died a few years ago, and the man was never arrested for the crimes. We looked to see if there was a restraining order because Bay told me that he called for an injunction, and that's how he finally got away in 1985. So far, we have not found any of those records in Duval County. But remember, this was the 80s, so they may have been destroyed.
All right, Vic, thank you.